They drive the ship on the bridge, we fight the ship down here, basically putting in ship in a good defensive strategy. We're at real minimum manning right now. We're getting ready to go up, increase manning because we're going to flight quarters. There'll be more people in here. There'll be a AGWIC over there. There'll be a strike officer in here, and AGWIC basically controls the air pitcher. Strike will control the aircraft if need be. Not really controlling like air traffic controllers. That'll be in CASI. I don't know if you guys have been there yet. So they pass off.
Talk about these positions. What are we looking at, LP?
What are we looking at? This is an SSDS. It's basically a ship self-defense system. They have a lot of inputs from all these different radars. We have links from other radars, from other ships, and basically they give us a good composite picture of the situation we're dealing with. Right now you're looking at some areas where the Navy says, okay, this is how they track some of the different areas to alleviate blue on blue training exercises. And so they get for certain areas to operate in. Say you guys own these for these certain amount of time, so you go ahead and do what you need to do. Right now we have one of our radars up. We can input like, I think about 9 different radars into that screen so we can get different returns. Some are better for surface contacts. Other radars are better for air contacts.
And airspace and water space are both.
This is airspace and water space. The middle screen we can pull up many different screens. Right now we have it on the flight deck. We'll have that up when we're on flight, basically running flight quarters. And if we're not running flight quarters, you can pull up CNN. Controller right here, it's a pretty nice Gucci system. You can pull up radars, many different systems. The 2 big screens on the right are ISIS, the same thing you guys saw in CATI. So we can monitor how many traps, who's doing what, stuff like that for our organic aircrafts.
What are you operating with today? Lots of traffic getting information.
Right now we have the Antietam up to the northwest. It's labeled the Antietam.
What is it? It's a cruiser. It's a cruiser, sir.
And then we have the new PDG, the KID, the KID. They're the same Lincoln Islands. They're a brand new PDG. I think they're 101. Just straight off the assembly line. We also have the Comstock up here. They're an LSD and twin, and they were doing some operations. That is about all the traffic.
Now you don't have any right to keep other nations or commercial boats out of these waters. Just because you're
No, you don't, but we do put out publications that let them know that we'll be doing these type of operations.
So they
maybe
might be
unsafe.
courteous to keep out of your way, but
Right.
there's no law requirement.
Right. We will cease operations if they enter our areas and we're doing something that would be unsafe to other facilities or aircraft.
The aircraft carriers are a little bit spoiled because most of the other ships out of San Diego, they know we can't go in certain areas. And we know we can't go in the areas, we have to ask permission to go in because we're military. But the carriers get spoiled and they get certain areas that most of us can't really go into. We stay away from them. We do their air off.
You get any sonar data here?
It'll be depicted through what they process will be depicted on our screens out there.
That's showing up the helicopter.
If we have helos out there that task with that mission, right now we don't have it. Or we don't have people performing that.
And we also have increase for their units whenever we go to different areas. We pick up a unit. Commercial airfields, in case we need to divert an air contact or something to land, we can say, hey, here's the airfield command as this is going.
And these are all military aircraft. You're not getting any.
I got a civilian.
You're getting civilian data.
If you look on his screen, you can see green lines, mostly in Mexico. Those are flight paths for commercial air
Yeah, all
traffic.
these guys.
And everything on my screen, it's a little bit further out. You can see a lot more of the air traffic
All
flowing
these
around.
guys, all these
As you go.
all these guys over here with the half circles are air and they have different, you can actually get commercial airplane, air routes.
No, you're doing one quick off earlier. You're not too kid for it. Very good.
Strike 613.
constantly asking you questions, and then you usually take a test, and then you have a board. For for the TAO board, you have to go up to the captain. So you have a captain and the captain's a shit hog, and then you have a bunch of pods there, and they'll just drill you on a bunch of details to make sure you're ready to stand the launch.
What are HODs?
Heads of departments, they're usually like the operation officer, the reactor officer, the Chang, and they just ask you lots of specific
What
questions.
they're looking for is they need to have confidence that you know how to solve problems without or waiting for other people to give you direction, and then that you'll make the right decision. So it's a pretty strenuous process.
The general policy throughout the Navy, the qualification process is the backbone of how we train. It is on-the-job training, if you will, because if you think of all the things that we've seen over the last
You've seen these screens on televisions in your room. You've seen them on the bridge. You've seen them up in primary flight control. You've seen them next door in air operations. This is one entire hub network of information where all the information about air contacts, surface contacts, subsurface contacts, our aircraft, and those aircraft that are going to be leaving are fed directly not only into here but also piped throughout the ship. There's a phone over there that goes directly to the captain on the bridge for any situation that's tactically questionable. He picks it up and says, I consider this a threat, Captain, you know this, bring this to your attention. So the checks and balances that we have for one another and the amount of information that's shared between not only the Stennis, but the entire destroyer squadron when they're embarked out with us, and the air wing when they're out there and the information they see, is just this entire surrogate relationship how everything just works. No one job can stand on its own. They can't be in here without a picture about what's going on in the flight deck and what's going on over the horizon with Hawkeyes as an example. They can't see that far, but the information has to be fed back. They just rely on one another. It's the whole team concept, and it just keeps expanding when the airman comes aboard, the destroyer squadron, and finally the strike for our board and embarked. It's awesome. It's awesome power. Any other questions for us?
This area here, we have 6 battle dressing stations, and we also have dental spaces, which are down one deck. So that's the main territory we occupy. This is kind of the central part of the clinic. This is really our outpatient area. We've got a couple offices here for a family physician and a PA. This is our commemorative wall that we have. That has a little plaque for each of the corpsmen that have died in the global war on terrorism. Just kind of serves as a reminder to us that it's a serious business we're in, and so we have this wall up here to honor them. Down here to this side, to my left, is our pharmacy. The pharmacist dispenses about 3,000 prescriptions, either prescriptions or over-the-counter items per month, so he stays pretty busy. We average about 1,500 visits a month for other things in a typical at-sea period of time. Around there to the left we have physical exams, and we do a lot of different occupational exams, flight physicals, radiation health physicals. We run the RAD health program because we have reactor workers on board. And we also do a lot of occupational exams. We have forklift drivers and respirator physicals and a lot of basic industrial kind of medicine that you would expect to find in any moderately industrialized area. So that's kind of the outpatient stuff. We'll move down this central corridor here, and I'll show you some of our ancillary services. Go ahead and come on in this way. Come on in here a little bit. This is what we call our treatment room, but also is our emergency room, and we can do just about anything you'd be able to do at a rig right across the hall. We don't have a CT scanner. There's not enough room for it on the ship, but we are able to do a lot of other things in terms of emergency medicine. We get some fairly serious injuries and illnesses at times. We've had some deaths on board. It's a dangerous environment. The flight deck, as you've seen, is a pretty wild place. Even though it's very well managed, very well ordered, it is a dangerous place.
Deaths from accident or deaths from illness?
We had 2 deaths from heart attack on board.
Climbing up and down the steps, probably.
Hard to say. One of them walked in, the other one was found up on the O3 level, collapsed on cruise.
And what do you do with the sea steps?
We actually have protocols for taking care of them. We have containers for them.
So you return them to the mainland?
Yes. No, we don't just, it's not like the old days where you put a cannonball in their coffin and put them overboard. They're all returned.
Do you guys have problems with like heat illness?
Yes.
How do you guys deal with that?
Hydration. We push hydration a lot. We use a lot of camelbacks. Yeah, and especially when we're in the Gulf, you know, the flight deck is very hot in the Gulf. The hangar bay, you know, gets well above 100 degrees and very humid. It's real easy. The engineering spaces down the reactor, we routinely monitor those areas, and when the temperature gets above a certain level, they can only work so much time, and they have to be given a break.
What if they get to the point of heat stroke or heat?
We have 3 ICU beds there, and we have a quiet room there that's right now being used for burdening for our inspectors that are aboard. We have a psychologist that's back right there, and we never obviously fill all these beds, but lately we've had a fair number of occupants with a gastroenteritis, stomach flu kind of epidemic that's been going around, and you can see our numbers up there. 310 cases so far through yesterday, and 2 more today. So we're actually, I think we're winding. I'm hoping we're winding down on this one. We've been putting up for this for about 2 weeks.
That's hard to get rid of, isn't it?
It is. It is very difficult. Any other questions? All right. Well, thanks for coming aboard. Thank you for your interest.
So you're here for the summer.
I gotta show somebody what I did.
Trying to teach these young guys, the old guys can't keep up.
You know, these guys are moving really fast though. Slowing down there a little bit just to catch up. It was a nice hike.
Only 11 flights. It's good.
Wow, it was a walk.
That achievement, that you really are able to get together a team of thousands and
an exciting occupation.
Always the head chick Thursday, G055 RPM.
I mentioned yesterday for everybody that we really do love this program, or the opportunity to interact with people in the civilian sector who we are really passionate about and supporting our country and stuff. Is there ways that I can make this program better? Is there things that you wish you would have gotten to see, a level of interaction that you had wanted to have with the crew that we didn't quite get there?
The only thing I didn't see was the mission definition.
The mission definition?
At what point are missions passed on to the ship and given to the pilots, and how is that done?
Okay. We kind of do that in two parts. For example, yesterday was a good example. One of the meetings I had down below was it's called School of the Ship. It's for new personnel that are arriving on board. And we typically have about 75 a month that come and 75 a month that go because everybody's here on anywhere from 2 to 5 year orders. And so I'll go down and talk to them specifically about the mission, how we are here first and foremost to make friends globally. And second, to build coalitions. And then third, when called upon by national tasking, that we will go out and get the job done, as we did last year defeating the Taliban. That is really our primary mission area. Now, with regard to how to take that, macro level view and distill it down to the specifics,
that pilot there has to bomb a particular place in Afghanistan.
Exactly.
How does he know that? How does that reach him?
We have our carrier intel center that has the briefers and debriefers that will go on TV. So the pilots will be sitting in their ready room watching the TV as they brief for their flight. And the meteorologists will come up and say, here's what the weather conditions will be like. And then the primary briefing will come up and say, okay, we've got 4 F-A-18 Hornets that are going to be going out and attacking this complex to do practice bombing in this case because we're just doing training right now. And we need the E-2 Hawkeyes to do this, and we need the helicopters to do that, and he'll give the mission specifics. But then even before that, we have strike planning teams that assemble in the Intel Center that will divide that up and say, okay, we're not just going over to El Centro to the bombing range. You have this tank that you're supposed to go after, you have that command center that you're supposed to go after with the penetrator bomb and stuff. And they get a great level of specificity in terms of what their specific tasking is.
And that request reaches you by satellite link from the ground forces?
Exactly. There will be a combined air operations center. For example, when we were over working in Afghanistan, there would be a coalition center where they would do all the tasking. They would receive inputs from the people, the troops out in the field, and they would say, we need this many aircraft from this time to this time at this location to cover this compound. And they would provide that tasking. It would be consolidated into an air tasking order that would then go out to units like us who provide that tasking the very next day. But then we also, that's pre-planned mission assignments, we also have basically flexible tasking where aircraft will go up and roll and ready immediate response so that if a situation develops and we did not have advanced intelligence on it, we still could pick it up on the spot. Kind of like being a linebacker, ready to go.
Button right here. I'll make sure that it's exactly right when the time comes. So you have lots of fun, and again, please, if you have any questions, just shoot us an email and we'll have a response right back to you. Thank you.